Good morning and welcome to another Breath Library session. Today is going to be all about breathing and stretching at your desk. It's a place that we spend so much time, so let's do it in the best way possible. So before we start, I'd just like to recap on last week's session, which was all about anxiety and panic and how we can use our breath to take those levels down, or in some cases, even stop it altogether. And the challenge that I set you last week was to teach one of those three exercises that we did to someone else. So just a quick recap, if you didn't watch it, it's cupped hands, it's the breathing breaks, and the many small breath holds. So if you've missed that, then go watch last week's session to find out more about breathing with anxiety and panic. So this week's session, we're going to look at just a few exercises that you can do at your desk that will help put your body in the best position and posture for breathing. Because, there are so many times where we can be at our desk or we're sat down for too long and we end up being slumped over. And when we're slumped over, we're creating tension and we are restricting the flow of our breath. So the first exercise that we're going to look at is about having your feet firmly on the floor and changing your posture. This is the same exercise that we did many weeks ago on how to ground yourself. So we're going to start from the feet and work all the way up. So what I'd like you to do is, and you can't see my feet right now, but put 2 feet firmly on the floor, flat on the floor as well. If you're at a nice office as well that doesn't mind, it might even be better if you take your shoes off so you can connect with the floor completely. So put those feet firmly on the floor, nice and flat. No crossed legs, no on tiptoes if you need to adjust your seat in order to have your feet firmly on the floor. And really we want to put our legs at a nice 90-degree angle, so our thighs are nice and flat across the seat, and then our feet go firmly down. This gives us a really solid standing. So it's nice to rest your hands on your knees. And now what we're going to do is bring attention to where we are sat in the chair. So make sure that you are nice and comfortable. And we're going to start by straightening up the spine. So normally when we do this, we'll just sort of almost feel like we're puffing out our chest. And that's great. That sort of straightens and lengthens the spine. But a way that we can do that, we're sitting up nice and tall, is we can roll our shoulders back. And this opens up the front of our chest. So we're opening up this, we're pushing forward, and this is a nice straight position to be sat at. So now we want to look at the head, and it's very important here. We've got our airways here, so we don't want to be hunched down like this, because that will be creating a pressure and tension on our throat. So I just want to roll the neck back just a little bit. So we're almost feeling like we're sitting up tall and high. And take a nice breath in and out through the nose whilst doing this. Breath in and out. So we've got our feet firmly on the floor. We are sat at a comfortable position in the chair at the right height. And we're not going to look at the position of our table, but we want to consider the height of our screen, of our monitors, of our keyboards, in order to make sure that we're not slumping back down. So we want to protect that eye level. We want to be working out so we're not hunched over. All these things are considerations because we want to keep everything nice and straight. I know that we can't do that for a long period of time, but every time that you feel yourself or notice yourself slumped over, then sit up nice and straight and take those breaths in and out through the nose. And this is a great first step to changing your posture and position at your desk. So that is the quick reset that we'll do anytime that you feel like you need that reset at the desk. But what we're going to do is it's also really important to stretch at times, because then this is another way of resetting. So what we're going to do is we are going to stretch the upper torso, and we're going to do everything that we can to waken it up. We are going to create some space. So what I'd like to do is you need a little bit of space for this. And we're going to do this without breath on the first motion. But we're going to raise our hands and put our hands together. You can even interlock your fingers just so you have more strength together, because we are then going to lift up. And what this is doing is really stretching apart. We're pulling up. We're giving life to our torso. Okay, and then rest your shoulders down and just relax. We're just going to do this 3 times. But the next time, so we're going to add in our breath. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, slowly. Then we get to the top. Then we're going to pull it up. And we're going to bring in that extra bit. And hold. And breathe out. And again, breathe in. And up. And hold. And relax and slowly breathe out. And one more time. Breathe in through the nose. Lift your arms up. Lock those fingers in and point up and go up. Breathe in a bit more and hold. And relax. And breathe out. Yeah, in this exercise, you'll feel it all opening here, underneath your arms, between your ribs. We'll be stretching out those intercostal muscles and the rib cage, and we'll be creating more space to breathe. So the last exercise that we're going to do is the twist. And what I'd like you to do is sat in that great posture again. What we're going to do is we'll go through the first motion of this without focusing on our breath at the same time, but we'll add that in on the second round, and I'll guide you through that as well, just so we know the motion of the exercise. So sat in your chair, hands on your knees, and take your right hand and put it out in front of you and put your thumb up. And what we're going to do is we're going to loop over your head like this, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to come back to almost 180 degrees behind, and then we're going to slowly come round to the center, and we're going to do the same with the other hand. I'm going to loop over the head And then we're going to twist and look back to where the hand is going to, almost directly behind us. And then we're going to move it back round to the center and then rest our hand. So what we're going to do is now we're going to add in breath to this movement. And what this does is this will give us a nice twist, we'll reset, and we are, with that first exercise, we are fully expanding the torso and supporting all of our breathing function. And now this twist is going to give us that extra alertness. We are going to, this exercise, you feel it when you're doing it. So what we're going to do is put that right hand out in front. We're going to take a breath in, slowly in, and then we're going to just hold when we get to that back position. And slowly breathe out as we come round. The next, or the left hand, and take a breath in. And we're going to hold. And we're going to slowly exhale as we come back round to the center. Just going to repeat this a couple more times. Your right hand. And hold. And slowly exhale. And your left hand again. Breathe in. Looping over. Reaching back as far as you can. And slowly exhale. Back down to the start. One last round. Okay. So let's breathe in. And hold. And slowly come back down to the center. And the left, one last time. Breathe in as we loop over and reach back. And slowly come back round to the center. Just take a couple of resting breaths. Okay, so just as a quick recap, these exercises that we've done, we've looked at sitting, quite simply just sitting, the posture that we have in the chair, making sure that that is not a slumped over, we're not restricting our airways. Then we've looked at that lift up, where we can stretch out the torso. And then we finally finished on the twist, where we looked at giving a different mobility to our torsos as well, opening up the chest and using breath within these movements as well. I hope you have enjoyed these sessions, and my challenge to you for the next week is to use these breathing exercises at your desk. If you're feeling a little bit slumped down and you feel a bit hunched over, then it's really simple, it's really quick, and it will change how you're breathing at your desk. So next week's session is going to be all about humming. This is one of my favorite topics when it comes to breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and see how humming can help you every day, and how it can pretty much improve all aspects of our breathing health. If you enjoyed breathing with me, then you can also, just a reminder, download the Breath Source app. There'll be a link in the comments, and it'll be a chance for you to breathe with me on some of the breathing exercises that we only do with our clients, and also some other instructors, some other incredible instructors from all around the world. So if that sounds up your street, then click on the link, open up a free account, and we'll see you there too. We'll see you next week for some humming.